هلا والله شباب، شو اخباركم؟ شو مسوين؟ وياكم اخوكم احمد نشيد، دراكم من قناه تفصيل موقعنا تفصيل.net. احنا الحين في اكتيفيجن بوث قاعدين نتكلم عن لعبه دستيني، اللعبه اللي كلنا منتظرينها، اللي لعبناها فوق ال 42 ساعه. فخلونا نبدا المقابله. Hey man, how are you?
Awesome. What about yourself?
I'm fine. I'm tired also.
Tired? Yeah. A little jet lag?
It's not about jet lag. It's just Gamescom. It's like time consuming.
Yeah, it's fun, right?
It's fun. It's fun, but it's tiring. Yeah,
It's a lot of work.
But it's fun that we get to get hands-on Destiny and use
Awesome. Did you
strike
play the
mission.
moon?
I played the moon. I played 42 hours of the beta, and I
Nice.
played like 30 hours of the alpha.
Awesome.
So that will take me to my first question.
Sure.
So you're gonna wipe the whole progress from the beta.
Yep.
well-
Yeah, so I mean, we were of two minds going in. We wanted to leave it open to sort of figure out if we could preserve some of the characters. On the marketing side, it makes a lot of sense. And actually on the server side, it makes a lot of sense for our guys to have people, instead of hitting the same resource to character creation day one, they can sort of spread out across the world. Ultimately, we wanted to make some tweaks in the back end and change some of the investment and gear items and change some reputation systems that wouldn't make a lot of sense for you to have the gear that you had, or the gear changed enough that you would be left without a rifle, or a rifle that didn't work well. So the game designers ultimately won out over marketing, and we decided we needed to wipe them out. The good news is you get to start fresh. You kind of know the lay of the land. You get to figure out if you want to do you want to stay warlock or go hunter, and kind of move your way through the world again. And hopefully you had a fun time, and the time you spent there was rewarding, and you'll get to have that again.
So what's gonna be different from like the beta to the full game? So we played the alpha and we played the beta. I finished the game which is the cap 8.
Yep.
I finished it around maybe 10 times.
Okay.
So I played over and over again. Are you gonna change that? Are you gonna add more dialogue, more stuff?
Yeah, there's a ton of content that we didn't expose, right? We kept you mainly on Earth, a limited selection of multiplayer maps, but of course there's far more content than that. If you saw the moon's our smallest destination, but we've got Venus and Mars left to go. We've got a bunch of multiplayer maps, strikes, the raid, and then the investment was actually accelerated a little bit in alpha and beta, so people could get through, we could see what would happen. So in the full game you'll be able to get up to level 20, and then there's a system that you can actually go beyond 20, so you've probably seen online some level 24, level 25 guys. Once you start to get to 20, you've probably finished our story campaign, although you can replay it in multiple difficulties. You probably played a strike, although you haven't seen the hardest strikes, and you haven't seen the Nightfall strikes, which are similar to Iron Banner for multiplayer, but in our cooperative mode. Of course, you've not played a raid, and there's a whole bunch of fun things that we can throw out there. But when you hit level 20, you've dabbled in all of that, right? And now it's time to go out and find really great exotic gear, go after the best legendary items, find ways to tweak those. Level 8 items that you had are they're cool, but they're nowhere near a legendary or an exotic piece of gear.
I had a lot of legendary stuff from...
You just can't put it on, right? Then you start to, if you looked into the investment trees, you can start to see, you can really have a lot of fun customizing and finding the exact heavy weapon that you want to take into multiplayer, or the exact helmet that suits your Titan in the Fist of Havoc, or your Titan in the Ward of Dawn. You can start maximizing your character, and that really starts to change the way that all the modes feel. So we start to get into endgame content. It's going to be really cool to see what players do in there.
So in the creating system, when you create a character, why don't we have the possibilities to add like facial hair?
Yeah, I mean, we have a lot of ideas that we explore, and a lot of things that we wanted to add. I do have a beard. Maybe it's some fictional thing. No, I mean, there's definitely there's a lot of discussion internally about some things that we can add in the future, and some ways that we can expand. Our goal was for September 9th to make sure we shipped a really great core game. And that means that even some of our own good ideas, things that we want to pursue, don't necessarily make it into the game. Our goal is to make sure that that foundational Destiny 1 on September 9th is just awesome. And so sometimes things don't make the cut, but the good news is in the past, where we've had a 3-year development cycle for a game, those things that go away just kind of go away forever, or you have to bring them back years on. And in this case, we can think about what can we do in the short term to sort of add freshness to the game, add the ability for players to have more experiences and more activity. So we've heard that. We've heard stuff about party chat, some other things from the community. So we're going to be listening after September 9th, and I'm sure we'll have some fun stuff to deliver.
So what do you want to what did you take from the beta, and what did you learn? What are you going to tweak from the beta?
I mean, there's some definitely sandbox stuff. If you played First Light a lot multiplayer, you probably found the Interceptor might have been a little bit powerful. So we're only going to spawn 1 instead of 2 for each team. We're going to bring it in the middle of the match. So it'll have a call out from the announcer. It'll drop in. We'll make the teams fight over it. We've also reduced the rate of fire on it and reduced the concussion of the burst, so it's a little bit harder to kill.
I love that.
It's really fun. I loved it too. And, you know, you're going 20-0, but I'm going 20-0. And then there's tweaks to weapons, tweaks to balance. The hand cannons are going to get buffed. The pulse rifles are going to come up.
Because no one used the hand cannon.
It went from being like internally one of the more powerful guns. It was a 2-shot kill. It was like everyone was using it, and so then they brought it down.
It's kind of, it looked like the golden gun, but
it's going to come up. It'll be a lot better in the shipping game, and that's something, you know, the balance and sustain, something we'll be committed to long term. So we learned that from the beta. One of the big things we learned from the beta is that we didn't have to learn a lot of big, hard lessons. Right? It worked pretty well. We had a friends and family, then we had an alpha that you mentioned. We read it in the beta, so we've been planning for it for a long time, planning for September 9th. We knew we have a lot of new systems. Some of the seamless matchmaking tech was unproven. We wanted to make sure we got ahead of that and that it would work really well. So we were really surprised.
It was like stable, and I was surprised with that.
I mean, there were definitely a few bumps here and there, but I mean, we had 4.6 million players come in, 850,000 at the same time, which is larger concurrent population than even any shipping game we've ever done before. So it was really important for us to, you know, we learned a lot from Halo about supporting online systems and supporting communities. We wanted to make sure we got above that bar so we could learn some new lessons. So then on the last day, Sunday, we went in and intentionally broke a whole bunch of stuff to see what happens when you just pull the power on a server, or what happens when you light something on fire, you know, like how do we recover from that? And we have teams internally now that are dedicated specifically to identifying those problems and solving them as quickly as possible. So that making sure it's a smooth experience and making sure people can get online and connect to our services is you know, mission critical for us.
What about the clans? What are you going to have for the clans? Is there going to be clan war or something like that? Or
I mean, clan war stuff like that is something maybe we'll look at in the future. Right now, what we want to do is make sure we can support clans with, if you had a clan, you can see your name in the nameplate inside the game. We'll have systems on BNet on the web, which we already have. My community manager is a clan guy, so he's aggressively going after a lot of those features. But a lot of sort of features outside of the core game experience, we want to wait and see what the community asks for. We want to sort of be reactive and sort of build those features out against what people are asking for. And we find also clans tend to do a pretty good job of self-organizing themselves, right? They like to kind of have their own space, their own website, run it in their own way.
But especially with what you did, like with the forms, even with the application that you have, it works. It works.
Yeah, if you don't want to go out and host your own site, if you want to use our software, it's free of charge. You can come in, you can make a clan, you can have sub-clans, you can have alliances on our website. So
and you also can have PlayStation like clan and Xbox clan.
So we want to make sure that players can play together, and that if you're talking, you know, you can have your big social clan with a mix of all different platforms. But if you're playing on PlayStation and you're setting up a game, it makes a lot of sense that you're going to set it up with those PlayStation players, because that's where you're playing. So yeah, we've got some robust tools online, and they're free of charge. Anybody can use them. Anybody can sign up. You can sign in with a platform or a Gmail or Facebook. It doesn't cost you anything. But we'll be watching. If people ask us for specific features, or if people want specific things injected in the game, we'll be listening.
One last question: is the game going to be localized to Arabic?
I actually have to check with our localization manager. I know we're committed. We've got a bigger localization staff than ever before.
I keep asking you, like, since the start. I was there in Bungie Studios since the reveal, and I was like, is it going to be localized? We started a hashtag, like, since there.
Keep the hashtag going. I'll make sure the guys see it back in the studio. Our loc manager, we actually have a loc team in-house, which is a first for us. Usually we rely on the publisher for those resources, but we're trying to get as many languages as we can into the game.
I know we worked together on localizing the trailers. We had like the last one was Jungle, I think, that was fully localized to Arabic. And that's what we want to see. If Destiny gets localized to Arabic, even if it was like a small thing, the menus, that will be big for our region.
I'll definitely keep the hashtag going and we'll watch it.
Awesome, man. Thank you very much. Any last words to your fans in the Middle East?
Thanks for playing. We can't wait to see you guys on September 9th.
Awesome, man. Thank you.
Thanks.